Okay, folks, so I wanted to circle back to I don't even know if I should call it a podcast. I don't know. I just really enjoy it. It's called Den of Kings on the Kirk Franklin YouTube channel. He had to sit down and was eating and talking with Derek Hayes. That was the name I could not remember. It's like, yeah, I remember Jeezy, Tyler Perry, but who was the other guy who owned like a food establishment? Derek Hayes. There you go. I got your name. Now, I was um I was reading the comments on one of my videos. Look, I've been on the ball this week, all right? Yesterday I got all the stuff done pertaining to Beyond the Gates on my other channel, and then getting my sisters and divorced sisters episode reviews up and the trailer breakdown. So forgive me for not remembering which video exactly. But one of them, somebody left a comment. Hey, Jeremy, did you catch that moment during Den of Kings where Tyler Perry talked about the quality of his work? Basically, if he got the money that his white counterparts in the industry got to make episodes, then the quality of his work would increase. And I vaguely remember that moment, so I had to run it back to the episode. I want to say start around the 11-minute 30-second mark, so 11:30 on that video, and it's to about 13 and a half minutes. So it's about 2.5 minutes where he talks about it. And I took notes. I'm not going to play the whole clip, copyright, all that stuff. Go over to the video. Matter of fact, I'll leave a link in the comment section below, along with, the exact timestamp to go to. But essentially, he boils it down to when he first started in the industry and whatnot. I think, and I listened to it about 2 or 3 times. And it seems to me that even now, he's dealing with the same stuff from back in the day. But like I said, hopefully I didn't misinterpret it. But essentially, he talked about how when it came to making episodes for TV, his white counterparts would get like 27 mil per episode. Tyler, on the other hand, would be lucky if he got 4 million, and they would complain about giving him that much. And what it really boils down to is that they see more value in, white entertainment compared to black entertainment. I mean, that's a tale as old as time. Like, why black artists weren't played on MTV back in the day. And even now in the movie industry, like when Black Panther blew up, or when Sinners recently blew up, people were like, what? Black entertainment sells? Yeah, yes it does. Yes it does. And he mentions that even though he was only able to get about 4 million and still make content, he's like, you know what, I'm not going to waste time trying to fight for more money, but what I will do is fight to get ownership of it. It's like, look, if you can only shell me out X amount of dollars, then at least let me retain the ownership of it. And even back then, that's when he knew ownership meant more than anything else. So then he talked about over time making TV and whatnot. When people, specifically black people, would complain about the quality of the work, he's like, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. Basically, he talked about how behind the scenes, that's how it is. And he even went so far as to say that I'm able to make the quality of content that I can with the few millions of dollars they're able to give me. Now, if they give me a budget on the level of my white counterparts, then I really show them something. So essentially, and this is my takeaway. You can let me know if you have a different perspective of what Tyler meant, but it seems that he delivers the level of quality, or his level of quality is based on the amount of budget a company, production, or whatever gives him. So if, I don't know, maybe Netflix gives him more, because I mean, look at like the 688. That was amazing. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I get it because, black people have it just so difficult in the industry compared to the white counterparts. Like, it's almost like, hey, if you give me a good amount of money, I'll give you quality product. But if you give me only a few dollars, but my white counterparts get, like 5-10 times more than I do, Yeah, it's like I'll give you Little Caesars quality, but if you give me real money, I'll give you a Pizza Hut quality. Look, depending on where you live, I don't know. Hey, where I live, I only got Pizza Hut and Domino's. All right, that's all I got. Papa John's shut down. So, is there any other more delicious pizza establishments in your area? Insert that instead of Pizza Hut, okay? But yeah, I just feel like I don't know how to feel about this. I mean, on the one level it makes sense, but on another it's like I get it. You're only going to it's like on your job. Why do more than the bare minimum if you're not going to get paid more? You know? It's like, why am I going to go above and beyond and I'm black and I'm not going to get a raise, I'm not going to get a promotion, but my white counterpart who does a half-assed job, they get a raise or they get a promotion over me and they don't do anywhere near the amount of work and effort I do. But in terms of, I'm a consumer though. So my stance on it will be different than Tyler Perry's because he's the creator. He's the one in the rooms where these conversations are being had. So is it fair to the consumers who put him in the position he's in now? Because without us, you know, his plays, his movies wouldn't have sold out and he wouldn't have these TV deals now. You see what I'm saying? Like, I really don't know how to feel about it. Because so are you telling me all the films where you rush the filming? I mean, is the rush filming due to low budgets? Is that why he filmed stuff in like a couple of days? I don't want to be rude. I really don't. I feel like if I ever had the chance to talk with Tyler Perry, I'd love for him to just break it down for me. I mean, look, I spent like a freaking decade talking about his stuff. So if I just had like, I don't know, 10 minutes or less and he just explained it to me like I'm an idiot and I would be like, oh, now I get it, I would probably have a different level of appreciation for what he does. I don't know. How do you feel about that? Like I said, go watch that clip. But no. Go watch the full podcast. Trust and believe you will get something out of it. I think somebody in the comment section of that video said something very profound. Notice how Tyler is like the oldest person at the table and he's doing more listening than talking. And that's wisdom that comes with age. And, you know, when he did chime in, it was a gem. I mean, Tyler Perry is like, it reminds me of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. You know, the dwarfs went to the mines to dig up, you know, diamonds, gems and whatnot. That's essentially what I feel like a conversation with Tyler Perry would be like, just nonstop gems. And it's not like, you know, empty platitudes. Like, these are legit things that you could actually learn from. I mean, think about every time someone who works with Tyler Perry is you know, in the middle of an interview and whatnot, and they're asked about Tyler Perry, sometimes they bring it up without even thinking about it. Like, you know, hey, I learned, you know, from this person, or do you know how grateful I am to have someone in the industry like a billionaire who is only one phone call or one text message away if I have, you know, a question about advice or something like that. Like, that's priceless. And yeah, it's like Tyler will give you the tools. It's just up to you whether or not you'll use them to maximize your potential. So yeah, I get it makes sense. I mean, what he was talking about sounds like what was happening, you know, when Friends was first created and then the cast of Living Single were in their feelings about it. How, you know, when Friends was being filmed, which essentially, let's be real, Friends was the white Living Single. You know, you know how New Edition eventually had their white counterparts, New Kid on the Block, and New Kids on the Block got all the, you know, endorsements, the huge concerts and all this stuff, the toys, the lunch boxes and everything. And New Edition's like, wow, okay, so we didn't get any of that. And the same thing with because Maurice Starr, the one who first signed and literally robbed New Edition Blind, eventually created New Kids on the Block. So the same thing applies here, where Living Single was a thing and then the studio created Friends and they got all the better treatment and whatnot. And yeah, so I wonder if the same thing is true here. It seems that way. But, you know, as a consumer, it sucks. Like, so until the industry pays Tyler what he's worth in terms of the budget of a white show, we will never get his maximum effort? Yeah, I would like to ask Tyler Perry that question. I want him to elaborate more. Like, he did a great job breaking it down, but like I said, maybe I have that bright-eyed, bushy-tail perspective because I'm just a fan and I've never met him or anything. But let me know your thoughts. So, how do you feel about what he said? Yeah, let's go from there. So, thanks so much for tuning in. And, folks, I'm going to say it again for like the 100th time. I'm on the road to 300K subscribers before I turn 34 on August 29th. We're less than 5,000 people away. If you're listening to this video and you have not subscribed, there's a good chance you haven't, because over 60% of my viewers are not subscribed. Hit that button. Help me reach 300K.